A short story. Has anybody here ever heard of a man by the name of Edgar Allan Poe? Have you heard of any of his tales, like A Telltale Heart, you know, what about Fall of the House of Usher? Okay, well, actually in my English class I just did an analysis essay on the Fall of the House of Usher, and there's a poem in the middle of the story that literally is the key to explaining the entire thing. I'm just going to do a short overview of the story for those of you who don't know it, and then I'm just going to recite the poem because I found it to be eerie and thoroughly exciting. So the story begins with a man who has no name in the story. We'll just call him narrator. And he gets a letter from his friend, Roderick Usher. And Roderick Usher lives in the House of Usher, which is this perilous domain. And it's Edgar Allan Poe does a really good job of explaining how insidious, evil this house looks. And he goes in and he ends up, he discovers that Usher is suffering from all of these maladies like severe depression, and he sees and hears spirits, and he's so utterly confused and alone and all this evil stuff. And they go over all of these literary works. They talk about like demon possession, they talk about like basic morality, they just talk about all this different stuff on the topic of supernaturalness, and it's like super eerie. And then we get to this poem, and the poem is called The Haunted Palace. And it's there's a direct relationship between the poem and how Usher feels. Usher, by the way, is one of the last of the Usher clan. They were a really big family at one point, but him and his sister are the last remaining, and his sister is dying. Okay. In the greenest of our valleys, by good angels tenanted, once a fair and stately palace, radiant palace, raised its head. In the monarch thought's dominion it stood there. Never seraph spread a pinion over fabric half so fair. Banners yellow, glorious golden on its roof did float and flow. This, all of this, was in the olden time, long ago. And every gentle air that dallied in that sweet day, upon the ramparts plumed and pallid a winged odor went away. Wanderers in that happy valley through two luminous windows saw spirits moving musically to a lute's well-timed law. Round about a throne where sitting Periphrogeny, in state his glory well befitting, the ruler of the realm was seen. And all with pearl and ruby glowing was the fair palace door, through which came flowing, 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 a sparkling evermore. A troop of echoes whose sweet duty was but to sing, in voices of surpassing beauty, the wit and wisdom of their king. Here's when it gets insidious. Ready? But evil things in robes of sorrow assailed the monarch's high estate. Ah, let us mourn, for never morrow shall dawn upon him desolate, and round about his house of glory that blushed and bloomed is but a dim-remembered story of the old time entombed. And travelers now within that valley through the red-litten windows see vast forms that move fantastically to a discordant melody, while like a ghastly rapid river through the pale door a hideous throng rush out forever and laugh but smile no more. That's all.